3, 2, 1, go. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of our Sunday video.
Good morning. Good morning. This is our rolling video.
Yeah, we're taking this one on the road because we have some errands to run, and we always like this style of video. We like filming to the car because we spend most of our time in the car. So we figured today we will do this. So we'll get right into the question or the comments here. First one.
I'm ready. Go.
First one I have to say was a little bit shocking to me. So this came on last week's episode, and a lot of people liked it, and I just kept getting just attacked in the comments for my socks.
I was gonna say the suspense is killing me. What have I been telling you about your socks?
Sheldrake
What have I been
111.
telling you?
Sheldrake says the white socks have got to go.
You ruined our video, Dad.
I know.
You ruined our video.
You know what? It's funny. There was another comment on there that someone else made a comment about the socks, and and I went back to look for it because I wanted to add it in this video as well, but I think they had deleted it because it was gone. But it was really funny. I don't think people saw it, but the white socks. Hey, listen, I wear what I have as long as they don't have holes in them.
How do we know you're wearing shoes?
They keep getting used. So,
How do I know there's no holes in your socks?
I didn't know that was an issue, but the white socks have got to go. You will not see any more socks in our videos. We'll keep shoes on.
So, is it that we're not going to see socks in the video, or you're just not going to wear them?
I'm just not going to wear socks ever again. Ever again. No, but in all seriousness, we actually found it really funny. So no hard feelings there.
Serious question.
Yes. So next comment here comes from Danny B 2048, and Danny says you need to change it to live, brother. And so I'm not entirely sure what he means.
Is he a hulkamaniac?
I think
brother. I don't think he wrote it that way. That's what he wrote, but I think that's the way you said it. You change it to live.
I'm gonna assume that he's talking about the video, making this video like a live stream, which we've talked about.
Oh, when we're at like people's homes, our listings.
But so we've talked about doing that before. I think we will do it. Sorry, we're just trying to get some of the easier questions out of the way for now.
Warm me up.
Yeah.
Get me all warmed up.
Next question here comes from, I don't know if it's Carrot or Carrie T. Maybe it's Carrie T. I'm going to go with Carrie T.
Carrie.
And they say, can you ask your clients what color wall paint is showcased here?
Oh, another serious question.
Love the green gray. So I actually have that answer. And it is a Benjamin Moore Revere Pewter is the name of that paint color. And yes, I agree. It's a very nice paint color.
I'm glad you got the answer, because if they ask me, the color is either white, off-white,
yellowish,
gray, or grayish. Those colors.
Okay.
So I'll explain.
Now, let's get into the next one here. Sophie Marin. Sophie says, the way you dodge the power line question makes me want to unsubscribe.
Oh, this is a serious question.
Yeah.
Did I dodge it? I remember that. Like we did it last week.
Yeah.
How did I dodge it? I said the way they're built is according to code right now. So if the government deemed that distance from the power line is acceptable, that's how they're being built. The homes away from the power lines, or the power lines through a neighborhood, whatever came first. But it's really, I don't take the government's word for it that everything is, cool and perfect and, there's no health risk. You decide what's best for you. Mm-hmm. Do your own research. I don't think that's dodging it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. If they
you think that's dodging it?
Expect you to take a stand. I mean, we're not power line experts.
So
we have no idea how to comment on this besides saying if you don't like it, then don't buy near that. If you're okay with it, do your research.
That's true of everything. Right? Your cell phones, they'll tell you not. Some people say, "Oh, don't keep it in your pocket. It's bad." Well, then how the heck do you talk to somebody keeping it next to your brain? Or microwaves? Your microwave oven. Like, there's people that'll say that that's no good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah,
You
so
govern your life, whatever suits you, and we'll support your decision.
I'm not sure how you answer that more.
I don't think I
More than
dodged
that.
it though.
But okay, so next comment here comes from Doozy John, and Doozy says, I'm just wondering whether the landlord can sue the tenant for not paying rent and consequent financial loss. The landlord may not collect the loss, but at least this will set a precedent and do collateral damage for the tenant as well. If the seller, including builder, can sue the failed buyer for losses, landlord should be able to sue as well. Doug Ford should act up for landlord-tenant issue. Cannot be an ostrich for too long. Not sure about that last part, but
Ostrich, head in the sand.
okay.
Ostrich will put their head in the sand. You remember watching cartoons?
Question. Focus.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any precedent set, or the people that you want to pay attention to a precedent like that. If it was actually come to fruition, where the landlord would, win. Look, they're not collecting money. You're not going to get water from a stone, so you're not going to collect any money. The landlord already, in the situation we explained, is in dire straits.
Okay.
How are they going to afford this legal battle? And many times, eventually, when the tenants do move out, how do you track them down? Like, you don't even know where they go. I think there's a lot of obstacles there. And even if you could do all that and win some sort of a settlement where the landlord is awarded damages, whatever that may be, could be $100,000, whatever it may be. How are you going to collect? Why go through all that? And if you could, who are you setting a precedent to? Other tenants? They don't care.
Well,
They don't care.
they're saying here that if the seller can sue the failed buyer for losses, landlord should be able to sue also. Landlord can sue, and oftentimes they do.
Yeah.
It's just the whole
Choose not to.
the bigger issue is not being able to collect the money when they do get awarded whatever the settlement is.
True.
But so yeah, it is possible. It just there's not much you can do. The courts can award you, but if they choose not to pay, then you're stuck either way.
Right.
But,
Sounds like what I said.
Yeah, exactly. Just hopefully shorter.
I don't.
I'm trying to summarize it. But anyways, next comment here comes from The Truth 4766.
The truth.
The truth.
Truth. Okay.
The Truth says, I'm a little confused. In October to October comparison, the average price is $1,779,000, and yet there is not one single week in October where it reached that price. Am I missing something? Looks on average closer to 1,679. That would probably change the chart a bit.
Yes, you are missing something. This is a great question, by the way, and we struggle with how do we avoid this. I just, apart from putting in hundreds of more hours to go through each individual sale, there's no way. So when we do it on a weekly basis, we actually import each individual sale and filter through that. What I mean is the extremes, the whatever the
every week in the average prices, there are sales that are $10 million, $17 million,
$20 million
every week in Toronto. Let's say, I think that's where this comment came from, but there's multi-million-dollar sales that just really stretch the average price.
They skew the numbers.
Yeah.
So that those ones or twos or threes that are just absurd amount of money, we remove it from our calculations because it's so far out of the normal.
Yeah.
So we get rid of those on the weekly basis. Also really, really low. If some condemned house or something that, caught on fire and they're just selling it for land value, basically, we'll look at that and say, does this make sense being part of a detached market where the detached burned down?
Yeah.
So we'll get rid of that. But on the monthly charts, we take those straight from the TREB, Toronto MLS board stats just because of the volume, the amount of volume. We can't go through it that way. So that's the difference. The monthly charts include all sales. Ours are a little bit more realistic,
Yeah. Well, we try and give you an actual average price. People
a
complain.
logical or more realistic
But,
average price. That's
yeah,
the
so we
difference.
take out the outliers there. But that's why you see that
I'm
difference.
exciting that they're looking at the detail there
I
to
know.
actually see.
I know. No, it's not too often we get a comment like that. So that's awesome that you see that. But okay, so next comment here comes from Just a Thinker 8669, and they say at 440 in this video, or the condo video, why do you think the bachelor is holding up the price for the one bed and not the other way around? Like, if I can get a one bed for X amount of dollars, then why should I pay so much for a bachelor? I will offer less.
It's just my thought.
Mhm.
You know, there's this, there's this, there's this. Like, where does it actually start or end? You can go the other way. The top floor penthouse with the great views, maybe that's holding everything up. I don't think so. I think it's the other way, like, ground zero, and you build from there. You start, you build the foundation, and you build from there.
But I
That's
also,
just our opinion.
yeah, I also think, when we do go through the numbers and we're putting them all together, that floor for studio pricing, that's
It hasn't moved.
yeah,
Actually. Thanks for bringing that up.
it's maintained its price for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And we've seen the fluctuation in the one bedrooms. We've seen the fluctuation in the 1+ den. Even 2 bedrooms have come down, but that pricing for studios, it's always, it seems, just every time I look at these numbers when we're putting them together and we're looking at the individual sales, it always seems like those ones are in and around the $400,000 mark, no matter how prices are moving for some of the other ones. Right. And no, sorry, not no matter how prices are moving. Sometimes, when the condo market was crazy, like those ones are going up too. But I'm talking about since things have calmed down. But okay, so next comment here comes from Virtual Saver, and Virtual Saver says, I appreciate your data that you gathered. However, how many sellers gave up trying to sell their condos in Toronto? This lack of data doesn't reflect the reality of Toronto condo sales and may deflate the actual number of units that couldn't sell. Thanks for the video.
They deflate the amount of units that couldn't sell.
Well, I think the question is how many sellers gave up trying to sell their condos.
How do we?
That's well, this is where I want to address it, right? I think it's a tough metric to track, because one thing we're seeing is, while you would kind of expect that more condos would be on the market now, active listings is not really going up, right?
Right. But a lot of people also, it's also very, very seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
This time of year, as we head into the colder months, activity just drops every year at this time and then picks up again. And there's a hope. A lot of people will quote hopium. There's a hope out there that the spring market is going to have some more activity. So a bunch of these condo owners that have either thought about selling or tried to sell and are taking a beating right now, their attitude, many of them is, well, forget it, I'll try again in the spring when the market is better. We don't know if the market's going to be better, but there's a lot of hope out there for a lot of sellers that that's going to be the case.
Yeah. Okay. So next, I hope you guys don't feel these bumps. These bumps.
I'm looking ahead and
as hard as
trying to find a smoother road.
We specifically picked the camera that was extremely stabilized for this condition. So
hope we're not making people dizzy.
Hopefully, if it's not good, we'll return it. It's okay. So next comment comes from Kevin Hill 135, and Kevin says, I would like to see a video on monthly condo fees. Do they increase after a couple of years after purchase? So show some prices with various properties. What prices are too high that a new purchaser should stay away from? What issues cause the increases in fees? Thank you. Great channel.
This is a question with a lot of moving parts to it. They know we spend our time buying and selling real estate, right? Like for me to get into and research all that data, wow, that would. So condo fees, generally, they go up. Just know that they go up. Consider condo fees like home expenses or running anything with expenses, labor, materials, everything is going up. You got the added element to condo fees that there's a management running it, and so the more efficient the management is, the more stable, I guess the lesser the condo fees will be, but they will still go up. Now, is there a rule within 2 years expected to go up? Yes, no, they will go up, especially once they start kind of putting all the pieces together and the condo board's finally, okay, we got this new building, let's start running it. Here are the fees. Oh, but we need to hire this and we need to hire that, and the fees start changing. As some people get it right sooner, which means it might be a few years later before fees go up. Others get it wrong off the bat and then quickly realize they got to hire more labor, more work, or fix things that just weren't ready on time, and fees will go up sooner. Fees are going to go up no matter what. A lot has to do with management. Hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I think that was a good answer. Okay.
There is a correlation. One other thing, though. There is a correlation with fees going up or fees being high and the price of the actual units in the building. If you've got two, well, we'll say extremely similar buildings close by, one of them has much higher maintenance fees, the selling price of those units will be affected lower. Higher maintenance fees, they're not perceived as normal in the industry, will have a downward pressure on pricing.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually, too. But, okay, so next comment here comes from Armani 2000. Armani says,
Fancy pants.
What if you have a 1+ den with 2 bathrooms? How much more would an extra bathroom cost?
Look, there'll be more value there, but does the 1+ den, does the extra bathroom take away from the living space? Is it the same square footage as, as one of the other smaller or less features? It's a 1 bedroom with 2 baths, or 1+ den and only 1 bath. I couldn't answer that. I've seen what would be perceived as the smaller unit actually sell for more because of the space.
Yes.
The layout has a lot to do with it. It's like keeping all things equal, proportional. It should be a bit more. I don't mean like 5,000 more, but it should be more. But the layout has a lot to do with it. I'm sorry I can't answer this question. I can't give you an exact number. Oh, the bathroom's going to be easy.
It's really
30,000 more. It's really on an individual basis. Yeah.
Okay, so next comment here comes from Silva2639. And Silva says, Hi, Santo. I completely agree. I also have another...
I was going to say, thank you. Stop there. Next question.
I also have another theory that takes it further. Every expert was justifying supply and demand for exploding home prices. Now that prices have started dropping, the new narrative is investors lead to speculation in the condo market, but low-rise market is still good because of low supply. I live in a semi-detached house at Yonge and Eglinton that 15 years ago used to be worth $700,000, and condos were going for $350,000. Once condos hit $700,000, semi-detached started selling for $1.5 million at Yonge and Egg.
Double.
The ripple effect kept spreading. Before you know it, semi-detached was selling for 1.2 at the Junction neighborhood. If you ask me, the whole market is priced far from fundamentals based on the condo starting price. What do you think?
I don't think the whole market is based on what condo prices are. I mean, the whole market is affected, but the detached market or the freehold market, we'll say, has its own set of parameters. The reason the condo market is having the issues it's having is just because the abundance of supply, right? Supply and demand affected the condo, affected all markets when prices seemed on an hourly basis practically going up. But the reverse is true also based on supply and demand. Now, do condo prices affect the freehold prices? There's an argument for that, sure, but it's more of the market in general. And your price doubled basically. Condo prices didn't double. It's just they're just different markets. So
Well, you say
a rising tide raises all ships.
he's saying that basically they did double. So when condos were going for 350 15 years ago, now they're going for 700. At the more of the peak, they were going for 700, which is double, and then the semis that were at 700,000 were going for 1.5, which is essentially double. So I think that they're just trying to make the correlation that
everything went up, everything goes down, but depending on what's going on, if you could buy a detached for 500,
I was gonna say
it'll kill the condo market. Because like, why would somebody spend 500-600 in a condo when you could buy a detached for that price? So
they all kind of basically
there's a relation for sure. Consider it like gears. One affects the other. If the freehold market gets just it is out of reach in many cases, and you were talking about to the economic fundamentals and average income, and there's no real correlation. If absolutely nobody can afford the freehold market, what are they gonna do? They're gonna buy condos. They got to figure it out, right?
Just a note to you, Pa. You passed Home Depot, so maybe.
But you didn't want me to turn.
Sorry, next let's make a left. So that's where we're taking you guys today, Home Depot. So next comment here comes from the guys one. They say, you never mentioned the fact that you can't just rent without condo board approval. Owners do not want strangers wandering the halls, so it's not just a matter of finding someone to rent or turning your unit into an Airbnb.
Condo board approval?
Yeah, that's why I thought this was interesting, because they put this on this comment on a few of them.
For the condos that we've rented for our clients that need help with that, there's paperwork that needs to be filled out from the condo board, but that's so they know who's living in their building. That's so security, if the tenant was to phone and say, hey, my fob isn't working or whatever, or somebody comes to visit and they say, I'm visiting so-and-so, and who happens to say be a tenant, security could look it up and say, yeah, that's the person living in that unit. I have not recently know that the condo board has to approve the tenant. I've not seen that. I don't know why a condo board would want to get involved in doing that, because then there's also a liability there.
Yeah.
The condo board just wants to know who's living in their building. In other words, who could legally be there, and therefore also who can use the amenities and who's allowed to even ask management for stuff. But I don't know about the condo board approving the tenant.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that answers that. And last comment here is from Wolfpack1298. And Wolfpack says, great video as usual. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your comments today. Oh, that was a big one. Thank you, everyone, for your comments today. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe, leave your comments in this video, the videos throughout the week, and maybe you'll be featured in next week's video.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope we didn't make you dizzy with this video. Thank you.
God. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.